Hospice is a program designed to help you take care of someone with a life-limiting illness. One of the most common remarks we hear from people who come to Butte Hospice is, "If we only knew about hospice care sooner." Families who find themselves caring for a loved one with a serious, life-limiting illness often feel overwhelmed. Nobody told them that help is available and that it's covered by Medicare, Medi-Cal, and most insurances. Butte Home Health and Hospice is a nonprofit organization that sends trained professionals to care for patients and their families in the place they're most comfortable, their own home. We help keep the patient free from pain, provide emotional and spiritual support to the family members as well as patients, and help you comfort and care for the patient.
Hospice is just a very necessary service that we need at this time in our lives because, as I say, there's no Death 101 course. You just live it and experience it. When my husband became terminally ill, the doctor had, told us. Our doctor, of course, called hospice. It was very, very comforting to have the hospice personnel come in because although you know the end is imminent, one is never really prepared for something like that. And so they just, one by one, everybody came in, brought the equipment, did what they had to do. I was approached by the social worker and also the head nurse. And they told me exactly what was going to be happening. And it just made life a little bit easier in a very devastating time. I just felt they were my angels. And I had called your Minister Bronson after the death of my husband, and I had told him, you people, where do you get such personnel? Because to me, to my family, they were our angels. Your people were just there. I didn't have to ask anybody to do anything. They all knew their job so well. And I'm just a very grateful person that they were all there to help my husband and to make him much more comfortable towards the end. One of the things that the social worker suggested that last week of his life, because he was telling her about the experiences that he had in the South Pacific and while in the Marines. And she asked me, she said, "Do you have any music from the 40s? And I said, "Yes, I do." And I had a boom box in the house. She said, "Get the boom box and bring it in here and put your 40s music on there." To have had hospice there meant everything in the world. They were my angels.
Hospice looks after personal needs like bathing and grooming the patient, pays for all medications and medical equipment related to the illness, and could lend a hand for future planning.
Hospice is a very profound program in that it treats the patient, the caregiver, and the family. Hospice even stays with the family for a year after the patient has passed away. The hospice benefit is a very special program. It's designed for the final and ultimate growth of body, mind, soul, and spirit.
Some people come to us thinking that hospice care is only offered to patients that are in their final days or weeks. Not true. A physician simply needs to make a referral with the opinion that if the illness runs its normal course, the life expectancy is 6 months or less. In fact, some of our patients remain on hospice for more than a year. There's really no reason to wait. A patient can be admitted to Butte Hospice when the patient has a progressive, incurable disease or life-limiting illness, and when the person is no longer seeking a cure and the focus is on physical, emotional, and spiritual comfort care. In many cases, our hospice services are 100% covered by the Medicare or Medi-Cal hospice benefit for qualified individuals. Many private insurance plans also pay for hospice services. We can provide hospice care wherever the patient lives, whether that's a skilled nursing facility, an assisted living community, a board and care, retirement home, or most often in the patient's own home. For over 25 years, we've had one mission: to deliver a promise of excellence. We're licensed by the California Department of Health Services and certified by Medicare. For a more complete look at hospice care, including answers to some frequently asked questions, be sure to check out the next hospice video, which features interviews with our medical director, our chaplain, and the family member of a hospice patient. Or you can just call us and open the door to the Butte Home Health and Hospice family of services for seniors.